The basic concept for this sculpture, for the Family Justice Center, was to try to introduce the feeling that one gets when they're up in the mountains and there's a section of the hillside with a little bit of water trickling down off the hillside, across or maybe under your path. And that was the original concept, that water is such a soothing effect for most people that I felt that individuals at the Family Justice Center hopefully could gain that sense. And that was one of my original concepts. The other secondary or primary concept was the color. Blues, darker blues, turquoise colors, yellow, and some of the pink colors. The pink really is representative of some of the wonderful sunsets that we have in the San Francisco Bay Area. A third component would be the texture. So these textures in the clay were very important to hopefully providing a feeling that there is some substance to this material. So these lines are done on purpose, definitely. These are hand marks moving down along the side of the sculpture, and in a what I call a more thrusting vertical motion. So if you notice all the hand marks, they're not just haphazardly laid in there. They were very carefully orchestrated, so there is a sense of movement. This section here, this piece, was done freehand. So I took my model, there was a section of clay in a color, and I just freehand this. And it was very fun doing this. It's all porcelain inlay. It's all colored. This is all colored clay. So it was pink stain mixed into the white porcelain clay to make pink clay. And then I added orange, you can see orange, pink, and then I added glaze to the top. So then if you move to this turquoise, there's yellow, dark blue, I use burnt orange, and that is all on top of turquoise clay. So each one of these. So this is the kiln where the Family Justice Center sculpture was fired, and it was about 2 days to load the kiln, and then it's 9 to 11 days in the kiln, and then it's 5 to 7 days to cool. So it's about a 2-week process in the kiln. And here's the door. The door is picked up with the crane. The door itself weighs a half a ton. So that gets pushed forward on the bridge crane and then bolted in place for a very long firing that is important to not only get the clay hard, but to attain the color that I want. The temperature is around 2,400 degrees Fahrenheit. We can come around here. It's a little tight here, but here's the clay. This is the clay mixer that I use for the Family Justice Center. This mixer is over 100 years old, almost 100 years old. So let me move to this side. So if you can see in here, so I mixed about, for the Family Justice Center project, I mixed 2,000 pounds for the mold to make the shape of the back of the sculpture. That was first 2,000 pounds. So that was about 5 batches of clay out of here. And then the actual clay, the sculpture itself took, I think I mixed 5,000 pounds of clay just for the sculpture. And then after the piece is made, then at least 1.5 tons of clay is just carved out, trimmed out, and the rest of it is water, 20% water, which is how I arrived at a sculpture that finally weighs 3,380 pounds total. Oh, this will be taken apart in sections. So I undo the bolt at the top, section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comes to 6, taken apart with a crane, with this crane that I have here. Radio controlled points is all custom made. the steel work comes through this left section, this left opening, and the water comes down through this hole. And of course I made it quite large in case there was more flow from the Family Justice Center roof. So the top section comes down. This weighs 430 pounds. Well, I've been in Richmond, California for 49 years. I moved here when I was 20 years old. I was still a student at Cal State Hayward, now Cal State East Bay, but I started it at Contra Costa Junior College and moved into this studio, which is now about 10,000 square feet. But when I first moved here, I was just a young artist with very, very little experience, walked into an empty space here, made the commitment when I was 20 years old. So this is the first individual sculpture project in Richmond in 49 years. So I'm really very pleased to take the time to produce the best piece I can for the city of Richmond. So I've gone all out to make hopefully a beautiful sculpture that will have a lasting effect for the community of Richmond. The value of art for the citizens of Richmond really go far beyond just an art piece, an artwork. What it does is it brings the community together. It brings a sense of creativity, and it shows forward thinking as far as a community. And I believe that the arts are really important, visual arts, and Richmond is really wonderful in that, first of all, we have space to place public artwork, unlike many cities who are limited to a physical space. So Richmond has the beautiful waterfront, we have open space, but most of all, it's encouraging that City Council, the mayors I have worked with over the years have been supportive of the arts. So I really believe that continued support will enrich not only the lives of the current generation, but future generations as well. So thank you, Richmond. I love you.